Hello everyone, this is RAMCCALL here. So welcome to my journey to $1 million in monthly revenue. For those of you that don't know, I'm basically just documenting my whole journey as it pertains to right now just the blog websites where I have ads running on them, and then I'm month by month basically just like recording it to sort of track my progress to the $1 million in monthly revenue by the ad revenue primarily. So without further ado, let's get started. And as always, I like to start these videos off by articulating a few of my quote-unquote inspirations. So these are just people that kind of have not only sort of inspired me, but have actually shown me how to do what I'm going to be going over throughout the course of this presentation. But the first person I wanted to call out was Passive Income Geek. His name's Morton. He has a YouTube channel. Check him out. And he also has a course online that I'm in part of. I don't really post inside of the community, but there's pretty good insights that not only the community is able to pass along to others, but Morton, of course, has his course that is just, in my opinion, very, very good and helpful. So another person that I've been following on YouTube, and he also has like his own little documented journey on YouTube, but also on his little website. His name is Below Average Blogger, and his name's Mike, and he's a really cool guy. He just started out maybe like a year and a half ago or so, and he's already making over like $2,000 a month, so he's definitely killing it. These guys, the Passive Income Unlocked, two guys that run the YouTube channel, but I think there's probably like 3 or 4 total people on the overall team that are working on about 5 or 6 different websites, and I think they almost hit about $50,000 in monthly revenue. That was, I think, a couple months ago, and obviously since January and February are a little bit slower months in terms of ad revenue. That traffic or that earning potential has basically been cut in half to about like $20,000. But anyways, they're totally killing it. You should check out their YouTube channel if you are up to that kind of thing. And then lastly, Growth Scatter. This guy doesn't really post anymore, but I always like to kind of refresh on some of his videos because his case study is really interesting, and to me a lot of motivating factors that have went into that and have actually motivated me to want to start this channel and document mine as well. So to start off with, I have 2 websites that I'm documenting on this particular journey right now. Now, that's not only going to be throughout this journey in terms of just these 2 websites. I do plan on adding more that I have later on in the future, and then hopefully once I get the revenue up to a substantial amount, then I can start diversifying into physical commodities and overall expand the portfolio for RAMCCALL as a whole. So don't think that blogs are the only ways to make money in life, because they aren't, but I think they are a great way to get started. So the first website that I have and that I wanted to show you guys for February is a particular website where obviously a lot of people in the US know about it, and a lot of people are searching about particular topics and stuff like that. So this is the performance for February, and I can show you the month-over-month performance at the conclusion of this video, but you'll see that it has actually stayed fairly consistent over the course of the month. And that little spike right there, I think was Valentine's Day or something like that. I'm not really sure. I don't really pay too much attention to the analytics anymore. Main thing I'm focused on right now is just producing high quality content and frankly just scaling that up. But the average time on page throughout the entire life cycle of the site so far has been around $4, or not $4, 4 minutes on each page. So right now that's looking pretty consistent as well, and it's actually going up. It's something that I've noticed. As far as Google Search Console performance, obviously the impressions have almost doubled, I think. Total clicks are up, click-through rate has gone up, and the average position is going down despite me producing a lot more newer content, which has the propensity to increase the overall position just due to the nature of how new it is, and it may not be ranking as well. But these are all signs that you should be looking for in terms of the overall growth of the website. And also, analytics can't really tell you the overall impressions and positions like Google Search Console can do. So just to kind of give you an inclination month over month, or I guess in this case, as opposed to the previous month to the one represented here, the website still continues to traject in the right direction. As far as revenue goes, the APMV has actually gone up pretty substantially, I would say, and I would attribute that to just overall ad rates going up throughout the course of the year. I know January apparently is like the worst month overall throughout the entire year, but every month after that, you can expect the EPMV, which is the earnings per 1,000 visitors, to start increasing substantially. And I can tell you, since this is already, I believe, March when I'm recording this, middle of March, that the EPMV is already hit around $20 during certain days of the week. So I'm going to be taking those projections and applying that to my overall projections for this website in particular, meaning I'm just going to take whatever the peak EPMV is for the month or whatever. I'm going to use that to start projecting out potential ad earnings and revenue for this website and perhaps even the other one. But the revenue for February obviously was about $325, and I'm happy about that. Something else that I kind of took note of that I thought was pretty cool is that we've also hit over 1 million impressions. So I would say basically since October, which is when I started adding a lot of content to this website in the right way, about maybe 4 or 5 months after that, it's already well over 1 million impressions. So going out throughout the year, that's going to be pretty exciting. Just having a website, on Google, having post rank and whatnot. Over 1 million people have seen that, or 1 million times it's been viewed. And to me, that's kind of crazy, but that's just what the data tells you. And then as far as the second website, which is actually the website I started presenting to y'all initially on this channel, it has seemed to have gone up quite a bit, and I would attribute that to the fact that I've actually taken it off of Ezoic. I was watching some guy's YouTube channel, Passive Priority, I think his YouTube is, and he mentioned how he just decided to kind of wait on putting ads onto his website because he didn't really want to focus long-term growth for short-term earnings. And basically what we mean by that is, if you want to get into the higher premium ad networks like Media or AdThrive, it may make sense just to keep plugging away, adding content to the website until you hit at least like 50 or 60,000 page views. And don't really waste your time with the Zoic. Don't put it on their content delivery network. Don't put it on their little Leap platform. It really just messed up my site. And I think around February 11th, it kind of hit like an all-time low. And then the second I took it off, moved it over to a separate hosting method that I'm doing, it seems to have taken off. So take that for what you will. I know Passive Priority did that, had improvements, as well as myself. So if you are a little bit concerned about your overall growth of your website, and you're not really too concerned about the paltry earnings that you could potentially be getting from Ezoic, then honestly, you may as well just take it off and maybe reapply to Mediavine or AdThrive once you're able. So just something to consider. As far as the Google Search Console, again, everything's heading in the right direction. Clicks, impressions, click-through rate is up by 0.1, which is all right. Average position seems to have gone down, but that's not really anything to be concerned about. It's still going way up in the search results. And also, we've also hit over 500,000 impressions on this one. So basically since September, October, I actually front-loaded like 300 articles on this particular website. I haven't touched it since, and it's still continuing to grow month over month. So hopefully once I'm able to scale up website number 1, which is the one with over 1 million impressions, then I can return back to this website in particular and continue to grow this one, because this is still a fantastic niche. It's just that the location of the traffic seems to be what is knocking down the earning potential on it. But that's something that we'll come back to, maybe later this year or something. As far as tools used, Keyword Chef is a good one, Google Search. Those are really the two main tools that I use, and they're pretty self-explanatory. But if you want like kind of more in-depth tutorials on, obviously how to use Google or this particular tool called Keyword Chef, then check out Passive Income Geek. And then of course, methods used. You want to find underserved topics, and you can do this by looking at, people also ask or Google autocomplete, and then obviously just using your common sense. So if you type in a search phrase and then you see something that's not really directly addressing the search phrase in a title, or maybe even in one of the articles on the front page of Google, then that could be a pretty clear indication as to whether or not you should or should not be writing that article, and whether or not obviously it is underserved or not. And then as far as the overall performance, I had to kind of cram in these like 5 different months or so into this presentation. So since October, basically Halloween, I've gone from about 3,600 page views all the way up to almost 32,000 page views in the span of about 4 or 5 months. And then I can confidently say, since it's about the middle of March right now, that I'm on track for about 42,000 page views for March. But don't hold me to it. We'll see what happens. So as far as the revenue goes, you'll also see that I obviously took website number 2 off of Ezoic. Therefore, it doesn't have any revenue to speak of, but it's gone from a total of 97 from last month all the way up to $325 this month. So in terms of my whole portfolio. So hopefully as I start to scale out the website portfolio in terms of the amount of articles, the page views will start to increase. And then at the end of the day, the revenue can potentially start to increase as well. So that's sort of just a little update, guys, and hope y'all are killing it yourselves. Hope y'all are having a great March and February and start to the new year, if you will. Great spring break and all that. But until next time, I'll catch y'all later. See ya.